the Liverpool fans. It's Ahmet back again. I wanted to talk about the Newcastle game, which is going to be played today, 5:30 p.m. kickoff at Anfield. League game, of course, Premier League game. Now, coming off the victory against West Ham last week, we won the game 4-1. It was a very good performance, you know. The front three, Mane, Salah, and Firmino, electrifying, you know, outstanding football, outstanding finishing, and we started the game a bit, you know, a bit tentative. We started it fast, you know, first couple of minutes, and then after that, I think West Ham kind of found their feet, you know, and they attacked our goal. They could have got into the lead through Arnautovic, you know, that outstanding chip that he had over Karius, who managed to get a hand to the ball, you know. Very important hand to the ball, because if he doesn't touch that ball, it's in the back of the net. And we're 1-0 down, you know, after, you know, 15 minutes or so in the match. And yeah, we took the lead in the 28th minute, I think it was. Emre Can with a header from a corner. I think that's the third time he's done that this season. He did against Brighton and one other team, I can't remember now. But I think that's the third header he scored this season, you know, Emre Can. From a corner, direct from a corner, which is very good, you know. And yeah, from there on, we took control. Second half, Salah got the second. A great bit of perseverance from Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain to get the ball to him, and he was in the area, and he turns away from his defender and just side foots it, you know, just slots it into the corner, past Adrian, who couldn't really move. He was upright basically. He wasn't able to get down to the ball, and it's 2-0. And then Emre Can with an assist. He plays the ball over the defence, which is pressing high up the pitch, you know. And Firmino manages to get between the goalkeeper, you know, get to the ball before the goalkeeper, and he nutmegs him, and he just puts it into the empty net. And we're thinking, you know, easy peasy, you know, we're winning this game. And then within a minute, you know, all that hard work from Emre Can, you know, kind of goes down the drain a bit, because he gives the ball away. And West Ham with one pass into the back of our, you know, defence, which is too far up the pitch, you know, the defence. And Antonio, who is a very quick player, Michael Antonio, takes the ball on the right side of the penalty area and puts it into the back of the net. And we can't really blame Karius for that, because, you know, he didn't, until that moment, he didn't really have much to do. He made a couple of good saves, but because it was such a fast, you know, attack, and there was no one to protect him basically in the defence, and there's not really much he can do with that, you know. He could have, you know, tried to dive down to the ball, but apart from that, you know, I can't really blame him for that goal. And in previous matches, Liverpool would have, you know, started to panic. They would have started to get the jitters again when it went back to 3-1, because we've seen it in, you know, previous seasons. Even this season, where we were leading the game 3-0 against Sevilla, and we end up drawing the game 3-3. We capitulate in the second half of the game, and thankfully, you know, this time we played it quite safe. We played it organised, and we didn't panic, you know, and we just waited for our chance, because we knew we were going to get chances against West Ham. Their defence is, you know, not really that good, and we knew that we were going to create chances and to put goals away, you know. And great piece of play by Firmino, I think it was, who threads the ball to Robertson on the left side of their penalty area, and he puts in a very, very good cross into the feet of Mane, who, you know, trying to chip the goalkeeper, nearly puts the ball wide, and he hits the inside of the post, and it's 4-1. We take a 4-1 lead, you know, into the final minutes, and that's how the game ended up. You know, it was a 4-1 victory for Liverpool, 3 points, and we were in second place until the next day, when Manchester United entertained Chelsea, and they won the game 2-1. Now, the football that United played, oh my words, it was despicable. I mean, it's like they're a mid-table team just trying to get a point from the game, and they went 1-0 down, and within, I think, the space of 10 minutes, United got an equaliser through Lukaku, who found himself in the area, and he just puts it away for 1-1. And then the second half, you know, it was edging out to be a 1-1 draw. It was going towards a draw. and then they get a cross into the area in about the 75th minute, I think it is. Somebody delivers a cross into the area and Lingard heads it in for 2-1 to United. And even Chelsea, I mean, Chelsea are a poor team as well, because earlier in the season they were playing much better, but now they've kind of lost it, they've lost the way they're playing. And it's kind of like they're resigned to just not doing anything this season in the league. Maybe they're concentrating on the Champions League, which I don't think they'll get through anyway, Chelsea. They're going to probably get knocked out by Barcelona. United are not even secure as well. They could easily get knocked out by Sevilla, but Sevilla are not the team that played us a couple of seasons ago, in the Europa League final. If it was that Sevilla, then I think they would defeat United, even at Old Trafford. But because in the first match they didn't really, they caused United problems, but they didn't really play, great attacking football. So it's looking like United will probably scrape it through and get into the quarterfinals, which is as far as they'll go, I think. I don't think they can, beyond the quarterfinals, I can't see them progressing, United, because once they meet a good team, attacking team like Barca or Real Madrid, Bayern Munich or, Roma, Liverpool, Man City, they're going to get knocked out. It's as simple as that, and Mourinho knows it. He knows that they're not good enough this year, and he's trying to make excuses and this and that. And now we've got a real chance tonight to take over from United. Get that second spot, take over, and finish the season in second place. Second is, I never see second as a good success for Liverpool, finishing the league second. We always aspire to be first in the Premier League, or in the old First Division. We always went into the season wanting to win the title, expecting to win the title. And over the past, 20 years, 25 years, we've kind of gotten used to finishing in, the second, third, fourth, all the way down to eighth, really, seventh, eighth in various seasons. So we need to get that expectation level back again to, want to win the league every year, to want to do well in the league every year. It's no good going into a season saying that top four is good enough, For me now, we have to push on, and we're doing very well. Klopp has got the team playing very good football. Defensively, we're looking much better now with Virgil van Dijk in the defence, in the heart of the defence. Even Karius, Karius has surprised me. He's doing very well last 3 or 4 games. He hasn't really made that many mistakes. And he's pulled off some great saves as well in that time in some of the matches. So all in all, it's looking good, coming into the final, the final stretch of the season, the last 9 or 10 games, and we've still got the Champions League to go for. We've finished Porto off now, 5-0. You can never say never in football, but it's done. 90% it's done. We've finished the tie is gone now. We're into the quarterfinals. We've won this match, this tie. And we just have to make sure that we keep on playing the same way as we are now. And go out there tonight, 5:30 p.m. at Anfield, and just destroy Newcastle. I know it's Rafa Benitez, we like the man. We appreciate what he's done for the club. The trophies that he's won, the European Cup, the FA Cup, finishing second in the Premier League behind United again in the 2008-2009 season. So he's done a lot for this club, He's achieved a lot for this club, Rafa Benitez, and we really appreciate what he's done, But there's no sentiment in football. We have to go out there now. We've got a new manager. We've got Jurgen Klopp, who is another aspiring good manager, young manager who could take Liverpool on to bigger and better things, greater things, much greater things than even what Benitez done, If we can somehow win the European Cup this season, the Champions League, that would be a phenomenal achievement, for Liverpool. And next year we want to see an assault on the Premier League title, because this team is capable. It's just the consistency. If we can get that consistency in our game, and start winning the games that we should be winning, against the mid-table teams, the lower teams in the league, we can be up there. We can be challenging Manchester City or even United. But I don't think United will be there next season. I really don't think that they're a good team, They're relying on a few players. If they get an injury to one of their main players, then their season goes down the drain, Manchester United, even with Sanchez. they still don't look like a good team. You know, I don't feel they're a good team, and they haven't really played good team. You know, they haven't really played any good teams, any strong teams. You know, whether it be in Europe or in other in the league, we haven't had that many good teams this season. So this is why they're in second place. You know, and we're only just behind them. If we win today, we go above them 1 point. So and they're playing Crystal Palace on Monday night. So that's not going to be an easy game for United. They could lose that game. You know, they could drop points in that game. They could draw it even. So yeah, we have to make sure now that we're on a good run of form. We defeat Newcastle, who we should be beating. You know, this is a team in 15th position in the Premier League. We're in 3rd position, just behind United. So there's no excuses for Liverpool. The same way you beat West Ham, we should do exactly the same. Just go out there, play our attacking football, quality football, and just blow them away. Finish them off, you know. And say thank you to Benitez, to Rafa Benitez, for what he's done to the club. You know, the fans can cheer him. The fans can, hold up banners and, tell him how much they like him, how much they appreciate him. But that's about it, you know. There's no sentiment towards Newcastle. We have to beat them, finish them off, and then we go into the Manchester game next week, Manchester United game at Old Trafford, which is going to be the main game for second place in the league, you know. Well, I feel that we can do a job on them easily. You know, we're much the better team. We're much better than them. We score more goals than them. We play better football than them. You know, they may have some names in their team, high profile names, but that doesn't mean anything on the pitch. If you can't perform, if you don't have the quality to perform, then it doesn't mean anything. You know, Liverpool have a team now, a settled team. You know, everybody knows their job on the pitch. They how do you say, they function well together as a unit, 11 players, and we can beat any team in this league or in Europe on our day. So we have to make sure that we go into that game, at least close to them. If we can't overtake them, at least it's only 2 points, 1 or 2 points, and I feel that we will be ahead of them because, as I said before, I don't see them beating Palace. It's not that straightforward. Some of their fans think that they're just going to walk over teams. It's not that easy, Crystal Palace away from home is always a tough game for any team in this league, And they can easily get a point from United. They can even, they can beat United on the day. It's just what Crystal Palace turns up. We wait and see. But first of all, we need to do our job tonight and just go out there and beat Newcastle. And that will put pressure on United. They will know that they have to win that game against Palace, because the match next week is at Old Trafford, on the 10th. And they're going to be, panicking. If they're behind Liverpool, they're going to be in all sorts of trouble because they've been in second, virtually since the beginning of the season. So since City took the first position, they've been in second all the time until now, and we were quite away from them, about 7 or 8 points behind them at one stage, or even 10 points, I think it was. And now to see Liverpool taking over, in early March, then they're going to be panicking. They're going to be in big trouble, United. And Mourinho's going to start flapping. You know what Mourinho's like. He's going to start playing the little mind games. But Klopp is he's clued in. He knows what he's going to talk about with Mourinho. So I don't think Klopp will fall into any of Mourinho's traps, And his little, word wars where he tries to say something and to ignite the other team, basically to provocate them, provocations that he does to other managers, other teams. And it's looking very good, Liverpool fans. This is just a video to talk about the Newcastle game, as I said, which is going to be played today at 5:30 p.m. at Anfield, and we look for another 3 points. We look for another 3 points. And we just keep building momentum for our Champions League run, which I think we can. I really feel that we can win it, We're not too far away from it. We just need to keep on playing as we are, and we can beat any team in Europe on our day. As I've said before, it's just the defensive part of it. If we can consistently, until last week, we didn't concede, I think, in 3 or 4 games, and the goal we conceded against West Ham was disappointing because Emre Can lost the ball in midfield where he should have just played it safe to one of his teammates, and he's trying to go past 3 or 4 players, and the ball gets tangled in his feet, and at the last minute he tries to play a pass, and he gets cut off by Kuyate or somebody who plays it directly into the path of Antonio, and he takes it on and he finishes the chance, because our defensive line was too far up the pitch, and there was no one to get back to the ball and clear it. So anyway, yeah, that's about it really. I mean, line-up wise, I think we'll probably have Karius in goal, Trent Alexander-Arnold, maybe Dejan Lovren will replace Matip, I feel, because Matip he looks very slow, he doesn't look confident. Next to Lovren, you'll probably have Van Dijk. Oh, definitely you'll have Van Dijk. And then on the other side, on the left side, you'll have Robertson, And midfield will consist of probably, I'd say Milner. Definitely Milner gets in there for his recent performances. Oxlade-Chamberlain I would keep in there, who played well against West Ham. And it's between Emre Can and Henderson for the other spot. Now, Henderson hasn't really played that much football recently, so I don't know whether it's a good idea to put him into midfield this game. And Wijnaldum is apparently ill. I think Klopp said he's got the runs, so he's definitely not going to be playing today. He's not available. And Lallana, yeah, even Lallana could come in, but Lallana, I don't know. I think he's not up to scratch yet. His match fitness is not there. So personally, I would just keep Emre Can there, because Milner, Can, and Oxlade-Chamberlain look like a decent mix of a midfield. They've got pace, they've got some creativity, they've got working hard for the team. Able to score goals in the case of Emre Can from a corner, or from a long range shot. And Milner's all-round displays, 90 minutes, he puts in the effort. He wants to win all the time, and he's got that hunger, and he pushes his teammates on to win the game as well. He's got that organisational ability, that leadership ability, Milner. And up front, of course, we've got the fabulous 3 players, Mane, Salah, and Firmino, keeping them there. Hopefully, I pray to God that we don't get any injuries from now until the end of the season, because this is the main part of the season now. We're pushing on to finish the league in 2nd position and to hopefully get as far as we can in the Champions League, maybe even win the Champions League. Who knows? It's all possible, because we did it in 2005 with a weaker team than what we've got now. A weaker squad than we've got at this moment in time. So, and we beat all the big teams going into the final. We beat the likes of Juventus, we beat the likes of Chelsea, and then in the final we beat the mighty AC Milan. So if we can do it with that team, then there's no reason why we can't do it this season, when we look even better. We're scoring so many goals. We've scored over 100 goals now. I think it's 102 goals or 103 goals in all competitions. And we're only in March, still got 2 months, 2.5 months to go until the end of the season. So outstanding from Liverpool, really. And a couple of transfer things I wanted to talk about. I think we're being linked with Marco Reus now. And in certain articles, newspapers, I think James Rodriguez from Bayern Munich is looking like a possible target for Liverpool coming into our team next season, So these are 2 very experienced players, very good players. Maybe they're not too young, but they've got the experience, they've got the quality, and they can change Liverpool's midfield completely next season, make it even better than what it is now. With the arrival of Naby Keita into the centre of the midfield, we'll have a very good midfield, a dynamic midfield, a quality midfield that can unlock defences. And can even score goals as well on occasion to help the team out, And yeah, we wait and see. Hopefully, FSG, they didn't spend anything in the January transfer window, which was no major surprise to me or to most Liverpool fans. But there's still some articles coming out in the Liverpool Echo, bigging them up and saying that we're making a profit and we're doing this and we're doing that. But at the end of the day, it's not kidding me, because we want to see investment in the team. For such a successful team, this season, if we finish 2nd, and we lift the European Cup, or we get even further, we get to the quarters, the semis of the European Cup. Next season, in the summer, they need to invest heavily to make the team even better than what it is now. It doesn't take a genius to know this, and we only need a couple of players, maybe a goalkeeper, an attacking midfielder, creative attacking midfielder. Keita's already coming in as a dynamic midfielder, and how do you say, defensive-minded midfielder, and yeah, maybe a striker, an out-and-out goal scorer that we can keep some players on the bench and put him into the team. And Liverpool will even, go even better next season. I feel if we keep all our players together and we don't get rid of anybody, we could be even better than we are this season, next season. So it's all looking very good, Liverpool fans. It's all looking very good. We just have to keep our run together now, keep winning the games, and yeah, see where we are in May. And then we've got the World Cup, of course, for a month or so, from June until the middle of July, I think it is. And then there's only a few weeks until the new season. So we see what's going to happen. We're very excited, we're very nervous, and we're very happy with how it's going. At the team, I was critical of Klopp in some instances this season, and I think he deserved the criticism in some instances because we were. In some games we should have won. We threw the game away. Really, we should have got the 3 points in a lot of games. The draws that we had, and we would have been right next to City. We would have been putting good pressure on them. They would have been panicking, basically coming into the final stretch of the season. And to think that we've actually beaten them, Manchester City, we're the only team that's beaten them this season. And it would have been a very good run-in, a very good, exciting run-in to the end of the season. But they've won it now, We just have to congratulate them. And we look for second now. That is a target, None of this top four. We want second place now. Second, or at the minimum, third. Automatic qualification. I think UEFA said, or FIFA, that England is now going to have 4 places, automatic places in the Champions League. But even if that's the case, we have to set our targets higher. This is Liverpool Football Club. We aspire to be the best in England and in Europe. So we want to finish in second place, If we can't win the title, then we finish runners up. That is our bare minimum requirement now. And we just have to go out there now and make it happen, from now until the end of the season. Yeah, that's about it, Liverpool fans. If you like the video, please like and subscribe to the channel, and make your comments in the comment section below. Give me feedback on your opinions on the games and how Liverpool are doing, and which players we may or may not bring in the summer, which players we may end up selling, and just your general thoughts on the season so far, and what you think of the team, what you think of the squad. And yeah, we'll talk again, after the Newcastle game. I wanted to make a video earlier, but because of the terrible weather, we've been having last few days, some houses have lost electricity. We didn't have the heating yesterday. It was bloody freezing, and we didn't have any hot water. It was terrible last couple of days, and we're back to normal now. The how do you say, the weather is starting to become better now. It's getting a bit hotter, so hopefully we can return to normal. I was even frightened about the games. I was fearing that the games were going to be called off, today. So thankfully that's not the case. When we go on and we beat Newcastle, hopefully, and take the 3 points. So that's about it, Liverpool fans. Thank you for watching the video. Much appreciated. And up the Reds, basically. Another 3 points in our quest for second position. And to win the Champions League, which I feel is a very viable, a viable thing for Liverpool, a doable thing for Liverpool, basically, an achievable target for us. We shouldn't be scared of any team. As Jurgen Klopp said, we are one of the best teams in Europe. The football that we play, we can blow any team away. It's as simple as that, So there's no reason for us to be frightened or to not think that we can do anything from now on. And that's about it. Thank you for listening, and enjoy the rest of your weekends. And we go on to Manchester United next week, full of confidence if we win today. And if we beat them at Old Trafford, then that'll be the end of their season, basically. And Mourinho will start to lose the plot, you know. He'll go crazy. He'll go mental. And he's already fighting with Pogba, I think, at the moment. He's had some problems with Pogba, who I don't rate at all. I don't think he's a good player. He's a shite player. I don't understand why the commentators and the pundits say that he was only good at Juventus because he had quality players around him. And now he's being found out as an average player. In this average United team, he's being found out to be an average player. You know, so even Sanchez is past it, I think. He's not the player that he was 2 or 3 seasons ago at Arsenal. He hasn't contributed anything to Manchester United since he's gone there at the end of January. So it's all good for Liverpool fans, you know. And next week we go there, you know, being brave, being courageous. And like last season, we nearly won the game there. We were a few minutes away from winning it when they got that lucky goal from Ibrahimovic. You know, he somehow managed to scoop the header in when we were leading the game for, you know, 87 minutes at Old Trafford. And we should have put them away, you know. Even in the last seconds, we could have won it. Wijnaldum had an outstanding chance. And instead of heading the ball into the net, he decided to side foot it and he put it over the bar. And that would have really rubbed the salt in the wounds last season. They would have been crying, the United fans. They would have, you know, lost their minds. And we can do the same to them this season. Because we are a better team than them. We are a bigger team than them. A bigger club than them. No matter what they say, they'll never be like Liverpool. They'll never aspire to be like Liverpool. And we've got 5 European Cups in the bag. And they're still only on 3. You know, so I don't understand why they feel that they're, you know, one of the biggest teams in Europe. Revenue-wise, they may be, but success-wise, they're not. And they'll never be like a Barcelona or a Real Madrid, a Liverpool. They'll always be in that second tier, behind the big teams, Manchester United. Until they consistently start winning European trophies, then they'll never be considered a big team. We don't see them that way anyway, Liverpool, because we smashed them in the 70s, 80s and 90s. And they only started doing things after the 90s, after they got the money, you know, and they started to win the Premier League. Then they started to be successful in the Ferguson era. And even some of their league titles were down to luck, you know, last-minute winners, referees helping them with penalty decisions, you know, sending off other teams' players, all kinds of shenanigans in the games. And they never won the title like Liverpool, dominating and winning it, you know, fair and square. They've always been helped out by the referees, in my opinion. And we don't care about them anyway. I don't care about Manchester United. My target now is Manchester City, because United have fallen away now, in my eyes. Manchester City is the juggernaut now that we have to bring down, that we have to smash. And from next season, we have to make sure that we compete with them from the first game of the season. We have to make sure that we're on level terms with them. If they win, we win. If they score many goals, we score many goals. This is what we have to aspire to be like next season, you know. And if we can get into the lead early next season, I think we can win it, you know, the championship. I feel that we can do it this time. We're more experienced now. We've got a better balanced team, a better defence. If we can get a goalkeeper, you know, keep Karius there for the rest of the season. But in the summer, if we can buy, you know, either Alisson or Jan Oblak from Atletico Madrid, that will add even more quality into our goalkeeping department. And the defence will be even more assured. With an even better goalkeeper, they'll be even more confident of what they can do, you know. They can keep out the opposition, basically. And going forward, as I said, you know, we don't have any problems. We can score against any team. We've got 103 goals this season. We're one of the most prolific teams in the world, in Europe. So, yeah. That's it, Liverpool fans. Thank you for watching the video, and another 3 points today against Newcastle, and we'll have a great weekend, you know. And bring it on, I say. Bring it on. Up the Reds, and talk to you later on. Have a good weekend, everyone.